Sports Talk Show. Your host is here for the show tonight to interview our special guest. Show highlight the Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, boxing, tennis, golf, and racing. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Tune in for all the news and scores, reporting on the games and so much more. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show.
Welcome everybody to another great episode of the Alford Sports Talk Show. I am so excited to have you guys join us here tonight. Feel free to go ahead and chime in on YouTube or X right here at the Alford Sports Talk Show. We're live streaming as well as the blog talk. It's going to be an awesome show. I know it's Friday 13th, but man, I got some great things to share with you tonight. Feel free to come in and join the conversation here on the Alford Sports Talk Show right by calling this phone number here. Let me put that on the screen, 516-418-5572. Again, that's 516-418-5572. We have an outstanding show for you here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. So much to talk about, but before we get started, we got to thank one of our outstanding sponsors. That is none other than the one, the only, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. That's right. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Feel free to visit my great friend, Chef G's, right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida, at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. And if you can't come down to Tampa, it's quite all right. Feel free to visit Chef G's right at FLBBQSauce.com. Again, it's FLBBQSauce.com. Don't forget this great sauce. Comes in 4 delicious flavors: Fusion, Honey Mustard, Heat Wave, and Classic that you got right here. Not only that, Chef G's is an acclaimed chef. My man is doing big things. He has Florida Sand and Rub. So check out that website. See him there in Tampa and let him know that the Alford Sports Talk Show sent you there. Definitely look out for Chef G's. So the music you heard in the beginning is none other than Sam Scola songs. Let me go ahead and give Sam Scola some love. I'll bring up some of his stuff a bit later. But the first song is Sam Scola songs, and this song I'm going to play for you right now, Sam Scola songs, the Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce song. After we go ahead and do this, we'll be right back with a lot more here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. Let's go.
Comes in 4 varieties. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, a natural flavor. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, Florida Gold Honey Mustard on burgers and ribs. Tasty fusion on pork and sausage. Classic taste for chicken steak tips. A hot heat wave on meatballs and ham. It's a cookout treat. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. Serve on fish and vegetables. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. Chef sauce.
We're here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Going to bring you a lot of great content, a lot of great stuff here. Don't forget to visit Chef G's at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. And if you can't come down to Tampa, it's all right. FLBBQSauce.com. Again, it's FLBBQSauce.com. Do not forget this delicious sauce. You won't regret it. That is right. Man, there's so much I got to go over with you guys here. And, it's awesome. Let me go ahead and give you the rundown on something real quick, and then we will bring in an outstanding caller. I have to make sure that I go ahead and start the show off first and foremost and thank none other than Sunshine Liquors. Got to thank Sunshine Liquors. Got to thank so much more. Got to thank Sunshine Liquors. And I got to thank George Awad there, right there. Let me just put this banner down here. I got to thank them because today we was able to cover none other than the Digits Bourbon by Scottie Pippen. That's right. That's the bottle right there. As you can see right there. And that is the banner. So that is fantastic. It was an outstanding event. Man, I mean, it was just outstanding. Anytime you end the day by doing a toast and and hanging out with a legend for a little over 2 hours. So thank you to Scottie Pippen. Gotta thank my man Scottie Pippen. And let me go ahead and do this right here. Let me pull it up a lot for you guys. That's George and Scottie Pippen right there. And let me go ahead and show you another great picture of this event. That is myself and none other than a 6-time champion. You know who he is, Scottie Pippen. That's right. This was done today. Sunshine Liquors. Outstanding event. Outstanding time. Outstanding bourbon. Digits 33. It's sold out. Mad props to Scottie Pippen and George. I mean, gotta thank George. Gotta thank his lovely wife, Lou. Gotta thank the whole crew, friends, Shelly. I mean, it was just an outstanding event, outstanding time, and this is the bottle here that we went ahead and toasted at the end. I'm going to make sure that you guys get a chance to see all of this tomorrow. I apologize. I promised I was going to be up tonight. When I left this event, it was pouring and I got caught in some really bad traffic. That was unexpected. By the time I got here, I realized, hey, my show is getting close. And I don't want to just rush up and put up content because you get one shot at it. I got to make sure that everyone gets tagged, gets credit. I hate to miss anybody out. And I've noticed that when you rush stuff like this, you regret it. I didn't want to go out like that. I'm going to make sure that I do these photos and video, make sure it's edited properly, make sure everybody's tagged and mentioned, make sure I put it up first thing tomorrow. And I also felt another thing, if I put up kind of late, I felt as if you were going to miss a lot of the punch with the post by putting up a little bit late on a Friday night. So definitely it was an outstanding event. Again, I got to thank George Awad from Sunshine Liquors. The hospitality was fantastic. Got to thank Scottie Pippen. Got to thank that great bourbon Digits. If you guys haven't seen, make sure you plug in to the next signing and you got a chance to go ahead and get some great liquor and a lot more. So props again to Scottie Pippen. It was outstanding. And yeah, so I gotta make sure I went ahead and thanked him for that. So there you go. And yeah, so I gotta thank him for that. And let me just go ahead and continue on with the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. We got a lot to discuss, a lot to unpack here, a lot to go over. And let me go ahead and just take that off there. Yep. Props to all those great people, man. Blessed that I get a chance to meet such outstanding people and cover such great events by being connected here at the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. And, these opportunities I don't take lightly because, the main thing what I've noticed with media credentials and access, it's based on trust. People trust you that you're going to put them in a great light. You're going to be at a person that's going to be professional, be a person that, is respectful, ask very good questions, but not irritating type questions and things of that nature. And it is a fine line on that. The fact that people allow, the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show to cover events is something we don't take lightly. We are very appreciative here at the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Cannot say it enough. Thank you, and thank you so much, George A. Watt, as well as Scottie Pippen, Sunshine Lakers, Lou, Shelly. Oh, you're awesome. And if I forgot anybody, thank you all. It was outstanding. Thank you to all the people who participated. They made the event also awesome. Man, it's awesome when you get a situation where you have that type of support. You come in, you do an event, you show up, and you have people come out and support you. That's awesome. I mean, that's just wonderful and great thing. So we're gonna go ahead and thank another one of our great sponsors here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. I'm gonna break down a lot of stuff a little bit in just a few moments. But hey, the great thing is here at the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show, we are honored to have such outstanding sponsors here. I want to thank CTC ME Mortgage. Hey, if you need a new home, whether you live here in Florida or Texas, you want to refinance, want to rent, you want to see what the capital in your house is, you want to go ahead and check and see what's available on the market, anything that's connected to properties of any sort, guess what? CTC ME Mortgage can help you. That's right. CTC ME Mortgage can help you. Feel free to go ahead and give them a call. My man, Kurt McCrae, he can do it all. That's right. Kurt McCrae right there can do it all. He can help you with a new home. He can refinance your home. He can help show you some things about the equity in your home. Give him a call today. Call or text CTC ME Mortgage at 346-527-7564. Again, it's 346-527-7564. Outstanding broker, outstanding sponsor. If you feel more comfortable, feel free to check out the website, ctcmemortgage.com, ctcmemortgage.com. And guess what? We're going to play a third Sam Scola songs right here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Third song by Sam Scola Songs. It is the CTC ME Mortgage song. Can't go wrong with Sam Scola Songs. Let's go.
CTCME Mortgage Company, they stand by their loyalty. CTCME Mortgage Company, you can trust their honesty. Make the call today. There's no extra fees to pay. You can take a loan to own a new home. CTCME Mortgage Company, they stand by their loyalty. CTCME Mortgage Company. afraid. There's no need to wait. Finance a payment plan. Kurt McRae is your man. CTCME Mortgage Company. CTCME Mortgage Company. CTCME Mortgage Company.
All right, CTCME Mortgage Company. That's right. Feel free to give Kurt McRae a call, 346 527 7564. Again, that's 346 527 7564. Get yourself that new home today. Feel like a rock star tomorrow. That's right. Go ahead and do it. And then that is awesome. Thank you so much, Kurt McRae and CTCME Mortgage, for being another one of our wonderful sponsors here at the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Hey, we really appreciate you big time. That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to talk about this topic here. Let me just go ahead and bring this up here and show you Tyreek Hill. Yes, so I promise you guys we're going to examine Tyreek Hill's traffic stop, questioning the reasons behind the stop. Okay. And I'm going to say this like this. This is going to be real talk. Okay. Real talk. This is something that I feel like Tyreek Hill said that I hope that some good comes out of this. Well, I hope some good comes out of this too. This is something that it is going to be real deep. And one of the things about this topic is this is going to be something that really should help a lot of people, especially people in the black and brown community. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and explain a few things when it comes to this traffic stop. Okay. And I had watched not just one version of this, I watched multiple versions of this. What became apparent in this traffic stop is, first and foremost, that one thing that it was very, very clear to me. Let me just make sure that we are okay. Just want to make sure that it didn't change my input or anything like it did last week. Let me just make sure that we're doing good on that. Just give me one moment here. Yep. Okay. Let me just see here. Okay, good. Okay. So yeah. And good. Okay. I don't know why it does that. It seemed like it's just changing the inputs. It's frustrating me a bit, but you should be able to hear me now on the blog talk. I know that it's coming through for the live stream. Let me just make sure that you can also hear me on that too. Yes. Yeah, okay. Okay. This talk is deep. Okay. First and foremost, one of the things that Tyreek didn't do that he was guilty of is none other than DWB. DWB, you might say, is what is DWB? Okay. DWB, for those who don't know, okay, I'm going to show you what DWB is this. Driving while black. This was not something that was Tyreek's fault, but this is something that is serious because when it comes to the black and brown community, you are a target, unfortunately. When they see that you are DWBing, driving while black, believe me and you, they notice that. Another thing that came apparent to me that by watching multiple versions of this is Another thing that kind of brought attention to them to Tyreek was the fact that he was speeding and also he was not wearing a seatbelt. These are two things that you definitely don't want to do. Number one, it's a sports car and you don't really have a lot of protection. It is something that has fiberglass and plastic. By you not wearing a seatbelt, that increases your risk of fatality and a lot more just by not wearing a seatbelt. That's the one thing that can actually help you in a sports car. I used to have a motorcycle. Believe it or not, sports car and a motorcycle, motorcycle has no protection. You're not getting much more protection in a sports car. I'm sorry to say that. And I know it looks cool, but you're cramped in. You have the airbag, but one thing that could help you is the seatbelt. There's just plastic and fiberglass around you. Why do you think it goes fast and looks cool? It's because it's got a lot of plastic. It's not like one of those old Corvettes. Okay, he was speeding and he was not wearing a seatbelt. Then before they actually talked, Tyreek Hill pulled over. He sped up, went like a good little bit, and then pulled over again. Just in his driving, it was kind of annoying and irritating just watching it, not even hearing any sound. Police officer comes up to the window, and then, Tyreek has dark tint. Okay? He has dark tint, and he did not have his window down, which is not a good thing. When you are DWBing, driving while black, the last thing you want to do is put yourself in a situation where you're making the officer uncomfortable or nervous because you're doing things that he can't see and just acting erratically. Okay? You want to think of one thing, and that is diffuse, diffuse, diffuse. I need to make sure that the person that's pulling me over, the police officer, does not feel like I'm a threat. I'm a nice guy, and there's no issues. There's no reason why you should be alarmed by me. Because the fact is, people have done less than what Tyreek Hill did in his actions, and the consequence was a whole lot worse. Done less, and the consequence was a lot worse just by DWBing, driving while black. Okay? So, that is first and foremost. Have your window down, have both hands on the steering wheel. Don't make any sudden movements, when you're dealing with a police officer, because at the end of the day, you can sue, you can protest, you can have Al Sharpton, you can go on any TV network you want to. At the end of the day, if something happens and it goes way left, I should say, guess what? They can't bring you back, no matter how much you protest or how much money you get in a lawsuit. And those avenues, there's no guarantee you're going to win because, hey, at the end of the day, regardless of where you think so, the person has a badge and they have a gun. Now, Tyreek Hill was not a threat at all. I do think one thing that Tyreek did say in his press conference, which I first heard the press conference and then a couple days later watched the videos. So I heard what he said, and he said he was being respectful and he was not cursing. Those two don't always go hand in hand, meaning you can be extremely disrespectful and not say a four-letter word. I can do the same. I can be extremely disrespectful to you and never say a four-letter word to you. In fact, I could cause more damage and hurt to you by never even raising my voice and never actually using a four-letter word, by being so disrespectful in what I'm actually saying to you. You might actually say, man, I wish you would just curse me out. He hurt my feelings by saying this or that. So being respectful doesn't necessarily translate to you not cursing and you're all good. That doesn't go that way. And in Tyreek's case, I hate to say it, he was being very disrespectful. He was. And he was stirring the pot. I mean, I'm just being real. He was stirring the pot. And what ended up happening, as what my late dad, may he rest in peace, used to say, son, don't ever put yourself in a position, and I'm going to teach this to you guys too, Don't ever put yourself in a position that you write a check that your rear end can't cash. Don't write a check that your rear end can't cash. And that's exactly what Tyreek Hill did. He stirred the pot, got this man agitated, got him crunked up, and then the next you know, he's like, chill, bro, chill, bro, chill. Because he's like, okay, this is getting too hostile for my comfort level. And believe me, I'm going to get about the cops too. So don't let me just talk about the situation the way I analyzed it. Another thing is like this: don't ever call a police officer bro. He's not your bro. He's either sir or Mr. Officer. He is not bro because he's not your bro, and he should be treated with respect. Especially being, Tyreek did say he had friends that are police officers. I guarantee you, all of them would tell him if they're really his friend, they would say, don't ever call a police officer bro. It's disrespectful. It's rude and disrespectful. And then I didn't even get to the window incident. You got dark tints. You pull down your window. This is not Chick-fil-A. This is not Miami Subs. You don't pull it down. You're getting pulled over. Keep the window down. As I mentioned, keep your hands on the steering wheel. So when he came up, your window should have been down, and you shouldn't have done that stunt of stopping, going down a block, and then stopping again. You make people nervous. And then you rolled it up. I mean, that goes without saying. Like, that, if that's just not what you want to do when you're in the black or brown community. You just don't want to do that because, again, people have done less and suffered a lot worse. And just by these mannerisms, when you pull up a car with dark tint, they can't see you. And that makes people nervous. And when you are DWBing, that they're already heightened. Now they're nervous because they don't know what you're doing or what you got in there. Obviously, they felt as if Tyreek was not a threat because it could have been worse. And another thing that I just want to say real quick that was important in this, it's felt to me like either the police officer that pulled him over initially or for a fact, one of the group in the four already knew who Tyreek Hill was and they didn't like him. They did not like Tyreek Hill because you could tell in one of the versions I watched, one of the officers said to him, yo, you know who that is? You know who that is, right? That's Tyreek Hill. Okay, that's the, player from the Dolphins who thinks he's all that. So what I would submit is to Tyreek Hill is to do those things I mentioned, but also you might have to tone it down a bit because people are getting maybe a negative perception of you. And another thing I have to say about this, I love my 3-year-old son to death. My wife loves him. I love him. I literally would die for this boy. But guess what? He is a spoiled brat. That's what he is. He's a spoiled brat. He knows I love him to death. He knows his wife, my wife loves him to death. Everybody in the house loves him to death. And we actually are cool with his, parents, his actual biological parents. We're actually cool with them. And they do actually love him too. I don't want to get into the situation of the backstory, but he is spoiled rotten. What I saw in Tyreek's behavior is an adult version of my 3-year-old son. I saw adult version of him, spoiled brat behavior. That's what I saw. That's what I clearly could see. Hey, you got to make sure when you are dealing with people that you negate the stereotype or the stigma that people might have of you. You want to make sure you prove people wrong, not prove them right times 100. Man, I knew that guy was going to be a jerk. I knew he was going to think he was all that. I knew he was a spoiled brat. And guess what? He was that and then some. You got to prove them wrong, not right times 10. Props to Calais. Props to his teammates because they did an awesome job. Nothing they did wrong. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the police. Let me go ahead and show you this real quick. here, and I'm going to talk about the police because the police is definitely. This is a photo here, and you know, this picture here just basically shows why when you DWBing, you just don't. You want to diffuse, diffuse, diffuse. Because yes, the cops were absolutely positively wrong in the way they handled Tyreek Hill. Let's assume that you knew who he was first and foremost. You knew the man wasn't a threat. You knew he was going to to the game. You knew who he was. You knew that you didn't have to go there. You didn't have to go there, but you did. And what you saw here was abuse of power, straight up abuse of power. This wasn't even, as you can see, the one guy that actually was Caucasian never actually, from the verses I saw, never actually approached Tyreek. He was on a motorcycle, and he was the one that the other police officer said, "You know who that is." The white guy actually didn't know who Tyreek was, but the other guy informed him who he was. And the reason why I bring this up is because this wasn't a white on black thing. So if you wanted to get Al Sharpton involved, it would be out of his genre because this was not white versus black. This was straight up an abuse of power. And those things of far as abuse of power, they don't they don't stop at color. They don't stop at male or female. They stop at power trips. People have power trips. I have authority over you, and I want to show you I have authority over you. This was a outright abuse of power. There was nothing that Tyreek did that warranted. I would agree with him on that. That type of force or brutality, it was not needed. And again, if he wasn't somebody who they knew, just imagine they knew who he was and they didn't care. They cared less. That's another sidebar, that just because you are famous and you're rich doesn't necessarily mean that everybody is going to give you a free pass, and doesn't mean that everybody's going to be impressed by that. That's something that I think athletes and entertainers need to know, that yes, you might be rich and famous, but that doesn't wow everybody. And sometimes people dislike you because of that, even more so. So just take it with a grain of salt. Be grateful that you are rich and famous, but don't think it's going to get you out of trouble all the time. These guys knew who Tyreek Hill was, or at least some of them did, or at least some point they did. And I would think I really believe that they all knew, with the exception of a couple, knew who Tyreek Hill was, and that's I think the reason why it escalated even more so. They knew who Tyreek was, and he did not negate the stereotype. He infuriated them, and it turned really bad so fast. You know, yes, it was bad, but it actually could have turned out a whole lot worse. This could have been 10 times worse. And from a person, I'm not going to mention the names, but growing up in Brooklyn, New York, there has been plenty of people who done less and suffered a lot more. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. Police brutality, and that doesn't stop at state lines. This is something that's been going on for a long time. You know, some people, when they get authority, they actually can handle it. They can be mature and not abuse their power. But abusing power goes all the way back to the Bible. People abuse their power. And that is something that you have to be conscious of, even more so. I have to diffuse, diffuse, diffuse. No sudden movements, sir, Mr. Officer. And I'll tell you, I'll just tell you one quick personal story. I'll tell you two quick ones, real quick. My former supervisor, actually, I watched them getting pulled over in the workplace that I worked at the time, parking lot. And he was Caucasian. Let's just let those factors out. The state trooper was also Caucasian. I couldn't have had a better bird's eye view. You might as well put VIP on my chest because I watched everything and there was nothing instructing me. State trooper comes behind my supervisor. I clearly knew what his car was, and he puts on the sirens. And instead of slowing down, my supervisor speeds up and comes inside the parking place of the workplace. And I'm watching. It's like, hey man, he's pulling you over. Why are you speeding up? I could hear the engine, and I've had the pleasure of having a lot of vehicles and motorcycles and stuff like that. So you're hitting the gas, and I'm saying, why are you not slowing down, man? And again, my supervisor, he's Caucasian. He goes all the way through the parking lot kind of fast, and then he gets basically right within 10 feet of me to get out of his car. And I'm like, what are you doing? And it looked like he was going to get out of his car, run through the building, which you do have like a security badge in. And we did have security inside the building. They were older, retired gentlemen who weren't packing. I'm like, what are you doing? So he gets out of the car, and I'm like, police officer like, hey, stop, stop. But the reason why I bring this story up is because my supervisor eventually did get out the car, and he was, I guess, thinking about making a run for it to run upstairs, but he didn't. Police officer did stop him after he opened the door. And I said, is everything okay? I won't say his name. And then, they both looked. And then I said, yeah, that's my supervisor, right? The police officer looked at me, and he said in a stern tone of voice, he wasn't rude, but he did say in a stern tone of voice, just go inside. Just please go inside. Your supervisor will be a little bit late today. The reason why I bring this story up is because at this point, right behind me was the building of our workplace, and right on the sidewalk where everything was at. I could clearly see the right road and the left road right in front of me when he said that with that stern voice. And again, he wasn't rude to me, but he's like, please go inside. Your supervisor's going to be a little late today. In a stern voice. Basically, he's letting me know, translation, go inside and let them know your supervisor will be late today. Or if you pop off, things might get bad for you. So I could clearly see this road. Alan, be slick with the mouth and go down this road, or go down this road and don't say anything and just go inside and follow his instructions. I could see both roads right in front of me. I thought about it for about 10 seconds, didn't reply. And I said, you know what? This is early Saturday morning. There's a lot of people right here in the workplace. They're all going to see it. I can end up getting actually fired and or shot or something right in front of the workplace. Or worst case scenario, get into a bad argument with state trooper, which could cause me to get terminated if he don't, you know what I mean? If nothing happens between me and him, it could cost me my job. So I basically said, all right, I'll talk to you later. And, I said my supervisor's name, and I went inside and I told everybody what happened. Before I finished my sentence, they all went to the window, started taking a picture of it. It was crazy. But the reason why I bring this story up is the road was very, very clear, right or left. Don't take the wrong road, folks. Take the right road. And one last quick thing I'll say is that one time I got pulled over by a police officer. Man, he was so nice to me. He did not give me a ticket. I did all these things I just told you. Had my thing down, window down. I addressed him as sir. And he didn't give me a ticket at all. He asked me, where are you coming from? I was actually coming from that same place I talked about, former workplace. And then he even said, the one that's on this road. And I said, yes, exactly. I'm coming from there. And he goes, okay, so this is the road you normally take home. I go, yes, it is. So he asked me a straightforward question. I answered him, Yes, it is a road that I normally take home. So he goes, okay, no problem. Let me please have your license registration. I gave it to him. And another thing, real quick, make sure your license registration is in a nice little bifold, which I'm sorry I don't have the example of it, and it's nice and neat. You're not fumbling around looking for it. Make sure your license and registration is right next to you, where you can grab it in plain sight, and a nice little bifold. It impresses the officer. So I gave it to him, and he said, "Okay, let me just make sure you don't have any warrants, and then we'll go from there." I went in. He waited. He checked. There was no warrants. He gave me back my license and registration, and he said, "I know this is a road that you typically take home. Just make sure before you get to the train tracks, you slow down a little bit sooner." And he said, "I know the thing I would just tell you, I'm not going to give you a ticket. I know it's a road you normally take." And he said, "But next time, make sure you wear your seatbelt." And I said, no worries. I did want to mention to you, I did have my seatbelt on, but I did take it off to go in my pocket to give it to you. But I did have it on. I always wear my seatbelt." And he said, "Oh, okay, no problem." And he let me go. Again, sir, no problem. I answer his questions. So it does happen where you can have a positive interaction. So now, as a man, every time I got close to those train tracks, and even beforehand, I made sure I slowed down. Even to this day, I don't take that road as often now because I don't work at that same location. But anytime I get within that area, I have a memory of that incident. And as a man, even before I get well close to it, I slow down. That's all you got to do is obey. Diffuse, diffuse, diffuse. I spent a little bit of time on this because this is an important topic, and especially if you're DWBing, the black and brown community. This will go for anyone, but especially my people. You know what I mean? It happens. Unfortunately, it happens. And I don't want to see nothing else happen to my black and brown community. I really don't. I really don't. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and talk a lot more here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. We're going to talk about Tom Brady and his debut. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and do something really cool. We're going to go ahead and talk about another sponsor here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. That's right, another great sponsor. Let me go ahead and make sure you guys see that. All right. And that's one of the fantastic things about the Alford Sports Talk shows. We are honored and blessed to have none other than Pushpin Adventures as another one of our wonderful sponsors here. Pushpin Adventures. Hey, if you guys need to travel, that is anywhere, destination weddings, international, if you need to get away, you need corporate events, if you need a situation where you want to just take a getaway and you want to make sure that you get the right service, Pushpin Adventures can help you. That's right. Pushpin Adventures can help you. They can help you with any destination of your choice. Make sure you go ahead and reach out to Monique at 626-838-1006. Again, at 626-838-1006. Pushpin Adventures can help you. We're going to actually play another wonderful Sam Scola songs, and that is another Sam Scola song, Pushpin Adventures. Let's do that. Let's go.
Pushpin Adventures. Pushpin Adventures. Book a trip with Pushpin Adventures. Travel on a cruise with Pushpin Adventures. Take a vacation with Pushpin Adventures. Tour around the world with Pushpin best value deal with Pushpin Adventures. Plan a getaway with Pushpin Adventures. Escaping today with Pushpin Adventures. Pushpin Adventures. Pushpin Adventures. Pushpin Adventures.
Pushpin Adventures. Make sure you give them a call. They can help you with any of your travel needs. Make that dream reality. Again, at 626 838 1006. 626 838 1006. And again, you can visit them at pushpinadventures.com /version, pushpinadventures.com. And that is going to be outstanding. Thank you again, Pushpin Adventures, for being another one of our wonderful sponsors here on the Allen Alford Sportsbook Show. And, we're going to go ahead and talk about Tom Brady. Tom Brady had his first commentary, the GOAT, and that's right. And my takeaway from that is I felt as if people was being way too harsh on the GOAT. It's like people had some dislike and they were hoping that Tom Brady would not do well in his debut just because they were envious or jealous, or they just disliked the man for whatever reason. He had his first show, and here was an opportunity for you to pile it on him because he's not on the field, he's in the booth. And like with anything, you're not gonna learn everything no matter how much you train and prepare. You're not gonna know everything and be smooth and fluid the first time you go ahead and commentate. It is something that you have to get used to. It's not as easy as it looks. You have to look at the camera, you have to be engaging with the person next to you, you have to switch camera views, you have to talk about the players. Things are moving fast. Not only that, it's not as easy it is to pronounce a lot of guys' names. You got to remember the numbers. It's a lot of things, and Tom is an analytical guy, so he could process a lot of information, but it is probably coming in a lot quicker than he could process, and he'll learn how to be smoother and get better. I just feel as if the criticism was really uncalled for. Like, okay, it's first day at the job. Give the man a break. Give him some time. Let him learn his craft. It takes time for you to learn how to commentate. I mean, play by play, giving your opinion. And not only that, you have to give your opinion on so many different things that, you don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's like a computer. You have to like download the information and then give it in a way that's clear and concise and without fumbling on your words. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Give the man his time. He didn't light the world on fire his first time out. It took him some time. He will get there. Think you guys need to chill out. You're being a little too rough on him. He will get there. So, having said that, we're gonna go ahead and talk about this is this right here. It says it all. Tua Tagovailoa and his coach McDaniels, give him a kiss on the head. And this is a tough topic too, but it's something that we got to go over. And this, again, is not hating just because you have a difference. Let me take this picture down for a moment just to explain this so I clear to people. Just because you disagree with someone's actions or don't see things their way doesn't mean you're a hater. It just means that you have a difference of opinion. Again, I'm stating a difference of opinion in what I interpret or feel based on experiences. And we talked about Tyreek. I actually like Tyreek. I think he's a cool guy. I really do. But I do think, as I was speaking earlier about it, that I do feel as if a lot of his actions cause a reaction. There's a saying: every action has opposite equal reaction. He wrote a check and he couldn't cash. Not only he couldn't cash it, his teammates couldn't cash it. They were about to take him all to jail. So diffuse, diffuse, diffuse. With Tua Tagovailoa, it seemed like when we talk about the Dolphins quite a bit, this is tough because I do feel that Tua Tagovailoa is not physically able to play NFL football. I don't feel as if the man is able to play NFL football. He's not physically able to do it. He just it is not. This literally is his fourth concussion in about 2.5 years. And this is scary. Okay. This is very scary. Okay. You are 28 years old and you have your whole life ahead of you. That's one of the things that I feel like a lot of athletes kind of get in that vicious cycle. They don't see their life at all outside of their prospective sport. They don't see any life outside of that. They get their, rear end so far up their sport, they don't think anything else in life matters, and there's no other life you can have other than doing their sport. And that is so untrue. Tua has nothing to feel bad about by walking away from the game. He has nothing to feel bad. You know, I talked about this in another video. The NFL, not for long league. 3 years, 6 months is the average span of an NFL player. Tua Tagovailoa had played a lot more than that, and he has made in excess over $100 million. He just signed a big contract. You know what I'm saying? So he has nothing to feel bad about. But this, no matter how much money you have, there's no price you can pay for having your motor skills jeopardized, brain damage, you not being able to function like a normal human being. There's no price there's no check someone can give you that can equate to that. You know what I'm saying? You were one bad hit away from not even a bad hit. You went head first into, ironically, DeMar Hamlin, and you went into his thigh, which is not a shoulder, it's not a helmet, and you pretty much knocked yourself out. And, your body stiffened, and you could tell by watching that incident, your teammates already know. They already know that you are kind of like that movie Unbreakable, where you can almost literally touch this guy, this man, and things could break apart. They automatically, the players, the body language I read, the Dolphin players went right to a knee right away because they knew what was up. They knew the history of Tua. They knew the position. They knew. And then the Bills started doing it after. But you could tell, not only that, why I think this conversation needs to be had about hanging up the cleats. Another player doesn't want to be in a position right now where they're the one who actually touches or hits Tua because they don't want that replayed over and over and over again that they were the ones who unfortunately did whatever. I won't even say it. You could tell the players know what's up too. It is not, this is, the question is, what are the necessary stops that the Dolphins, the NFL, and Tua need to have themselves? I think the Dolphins need to go ahead and have the man sit down and say, it is time for you to hang up your cleats. We're willing to offer you a buyout where you don't have to play the rest of your career, but you would get X amount of money. I think the NFL needs to get on board with this, and I think his family needs to talk about this. I mean, there are some
there, he's got the warrior mentality. I get that, but sometimes you got to take things, just like in boxing. Sometimes you got to take the decision out of the boxer's hand. They're so focused on one thing, one goal, that they lose sight of the landscape. Sometimes you got to take it out of a boxer's hand. Sometimes you got to take it out of their hands. Yeah, there's no way for Tua to go. And one person said about the Guardian cap. I think the Guardian cap at this point is out of the question for Tua. Everybody else is a different situation, but for Tua himself, the Guardian cap is not really going to help you because your body now is sensitized to sudden trauma. That's what's happening. It's almost like you don't have to actually have a collision, and the pounds per square inch, let's say, just throwing out a number, let's say before it was at 100% you needed to be at to knock you out. With Tua, I think it's about now 30, 40%, and that's it. You can't play football that way. You can't play NFL football that way. You understand? It's just, unfortunately, somebody might even like ease up and then hit you, and I feel like just for that easing up, it could cause something severe. And you can't be at the point where your body is like glass in a way, unbreakable. Like you could literally fall apart. Excuse me. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You did fantastic. In fact, me and my family talked about it. I even had a vision when Tua, now he's doing a commercial in a fast food thing. Me and my family talked about that. We think that he should maybe own a Chick-fil-A or a McDonald's franchise and be the manager, store owner. Be the store owner. Do that. You can do a lot of great things outside of football. I'm not saying football isn't great. I'm not saying NFL football isn't wonderful. But I cover football, and it is a dog-eat-dog world. And I'm telling you, Tua Tagovailoa, this is not hating. This is concern. This is severe concern. So why I'm saying is you're unfortunately not fit to play this game. You're not physically fit. And almost like if you watch, to bring some light to the situation, you know, um, the movie, it slipped my mind, which I'll get it, I'll pull it up. But there was a part in the movie where there was a guy who had, a bunch of concussions, and they threw a football, hit him in the head, and he had another concussion. It's like, but I want to get out there, coach. Excuse me. I want to get out there, coach. Even had 15 concussions. I want to get out there, coach. And he's like, all right, go out there. This is the NFL. This, all joking aside, enough is enough. Okay, and this is scary, man. This is scary. This is on national TV. These games. This is on Prime. Leading up to the game, folks. Imagine you go into Amazon and your whole screen is Prime NFL football. And this was 2 days before the game. I'm sorry, a day before the game. A day before the game and a game of. So before you can click on any product, all that traffic that Amazon gets, before you can do anything, you got to click off that big full page ad. That's just on Amazon's website. I mean, the reason why I bring that up is that's deep about how many people watch it, and you're putting yourself in severe risk, extreme risk. I would actually even say Tua is ahead of Tyreek, meaning it's it's just a really bad situation. I think it's time to hang up the cleats. And I said, I'm not saying that just because of what happened on Thursday night. I said this after he had that severe concussion. It's time to hang up the cleats then. By him actually hanging around, coming back, he got the fat contract. But now that you got the fat contract and there's another concussion, that's it, man. It's time to hang it up. With all due respect, Tua, it's time to hang it up. And it's not hating, it's his concern. And having said that, let me go ahead and bring on a great caller here at the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
I know you're doing good because your Bills, they won, right?
Right.
Man, what'd you think about how they looked?
They were off to a shaky start, but they pulled it off.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were off to a shaky start. You're right about that. But once they got their feet down in the ground and started doing their thing, it was just amazing to see how they just dominated.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just think I just think they're gonna be a tough team to beat. They're gonna be a really tough team to beat.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I just think that they've put yourself in a great position, and it seemed like they're not missing Stephon Diggs too much.
Right. What
Yes.
happened to Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, he got traded, so yeah, I know they wish him the best, but yeah, he's no longer a member of the Bills. But James Cook did it all.
Right.
James
Where's he
Cook,
out?
that's right.
Where's he out?
I forget the top of head what team he went to. Let me just double check it. It slipped my mind. It's I'll pull it up right here. Houston. Now why can I forget the Texans? That's right. He's with the Texans.
Okay.
But yeah, he's doing his thing now with the Texans. But yeah, I appreciate you. I really do. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm gonna keep watching the Bills. They look really good. The defense looks solid. They just couldn't score. They really took over the game. I'm impressed. So they just got to keep doing what they're
Yeah.
doing. And
Yeah.
tell Lou. I know you probably couldn't hear me earlier, but we're on now. We're live.
Tell him.
All right. I really appreciate you. Always a pleasure.
I appreciate you too.
Thank you so much. So I'll
You're
make sure.
welcome.
I'll make sure that you guys. I call in. Let me make sure that you guys know that Lou, the Enhanced Sports Show, will be on tomorrow between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Check YouTube too, the Enhanced Sports Show. Make sure you give them a call at 512-543-4662. Again, it's 512-543-4662. Can't go wrong with the Enhanced Sports Show. I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So definitely, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'm looking forward to a great show tomorrow.
Yep. Me too.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. Yes, so that is fantastic. Always great to have Diane here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. That is outstanding. So, yeah, as I was saying, it's time for Tua to hang up the cleats. It is. It's not hating. It's time for him to hang up the cleats, man. You got your whole life ahead of you. It's just those concussions is too frequent, too often. You just sign a contract. They'll probably, if they did the right thing, will give you a buyout and take that money and get yourself a nice, get yourself a McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. Maybe that's a sign right there that you did that commercial in the drive-thru that maybe you should be an owner of the franchise owner. Do that. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in what Tua Tagovailoa has done in the NFL. You have made it. You made a lot of money. Not only that, the NFL, not for long league. 3 years, 6 months is the average tenure for an NFL player. Tua has exceeded that and made a lot of money. And it's not just the money, but he's been successful. But let's just be real. You're taking a high risk and very little reward because to me, the way I see the Dolphins, you're going to be able to beat a lot of the middle of the pack teams. Maybe you'll have a great day and beat a better than the middle of a pack team. But in all seriousness, the Dolphins have a ways to go to beat a team like the Bills. They have a ways to go to beat a team like the 49ers. They have a ways to go to beat a team like the Chiefs. They even have a ways to go to beat a team like the Ravens. You're not in the upper echelon of teams, and it's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. They're a good team, but you could see if you get shut down that easily, against a team like the Bills, which played great, just having cover two. The thing with the Bills, with the Dolphins, it's very clear how you defend them. What you do is you have two high safeties out there. You make it so that they have to drive the whole field, and eventually they will mess up. And prior to the injury with Tua, in all fairness, not to pile on Tua, but Tua did not play well prior to the injury. He actually played pretty poorly. Let me just be real. And what I mean by poorly, I'm just giving you my straight up evaluation. Okay, not being negative or being harsh. It looked to me like he was just way off on that whole day. He threw the ball to get rid of the ball so quickly because to avoid a hit, he got the ball. He threw the ball first of all too soon, and it was on target. Got intercepted. Okay, we'll let that one go. The second interception was such a poor pass that when it was in the air, I said, "Yo, he's throwing it to the other guy." The other guy was 6 yards past. It was that far off the mark, and he threw another deep ball to Tyreek. The one opportunity he actually did have Tyreek deep, and we missed him by 8 yards. Easy to the left. Tyreek didn't even make a play on it. Nobody could make a play on it. Prior to the injury, he did not look good. And if you look at Tua, if there's 10 quarterbacks that you choose or 15, with all due respect, Tua to me would not be in that top 15. So having said that, your team, unless they get something in the trade market, is probably not going to win the Super Bowl. So don't take a risk of your health having brain damage, having being paralyzed. You can't pay me enough. You can't pay me enough right now. Hey, Alan, I'll give you $10 million if I give you can't you play with your kids no more and you'll have brain damage, or you can't walk, you'll have to be in a wheelchair. I'm sorry, man. I'll tell you right now, as a person, man, you can keep your money. Keep your money. People put too much stock in money. It's nice to have money, but hey, man, there's but so much money can buy, and your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth. I'm the type of guy that promotes guys in the UFL to get opportunities. I want them to go to the next level, but I would never say that to a player who I didn't think was physically fit to play at the next level or in the NFL. I wouldn't recommend that. Like, hey, man, I know you're great. You love this. You're a warrior, and this is your passion. I respect that. But, you're just not physically fit to do the job. You're not physically fit. Tua is not physically fit to be an NFL quarterback. It's nothing personal. It's not hating. And the bottom line is, it's concern. I've never met Tua, but he seemed like a really cool guy. He does. He seemed like an approachable guy. And I would be like, you know what, man? I think you need to hang up the cleats. Have them offer you a buyout of $100, $120 million. Take the buyout. Go buy some franchises down in Miami. Don't waste your money. Do not waste your money. Don't waste not one single dollar. Don't waste your money because you need that money for the rest of your life. You're not going to have another opportunity in most cases that's going to give you what the NFL is giving you. So save your money. Don't make silly investments. Don't blow your money and live a great life with your wife and your family. That's it. There's nothing to feel bad about. 3 years, 6 months is the average NFL playing career. Not for long league. I didn't make that up. The NFL, not for long. 3 years, 6 months. You've done a lot more than most players in the NFL. Nothing to feel bad about. You're a warrior. And I feel as if the Dolphins and the NFL and Tua and his family need to take the decision off the table. They need to take it out of his hands because I've seen this in boxing, and I'm going to get into boxing just a little bit. Boxers, hey man, fight's over. That's it. It's over. You have no chance of winning this fight. That's it. You have to sometimes take it out of their hands because they'll just keep going running. They'll just keep on going. Yeah, man, put some dirt on it. You ain't putting no dirt on a concussion, man. This serious. And again, one last thing I'm going to say on this is that the players know. The players know because if you watch the body language of the players, the Dolphin players went on one knee immediately, like within sync, because they know it's Tua. They know it's their guy. They know the history. They're probably thinking the same thing I'm saying, but they just won't say it to Tua. They just won't say it to his face. Tua Tagovailoa, man. It's time to hang up those cleats. I hate to say it. I said this before the last concussion you had on Thursday night. I said it before. But without a doubt, this will unfortunately repeat itself because you're running, you might slip, you might bump into somebody on the sideline and get a knocked out. When you get to this point of your body is basically now becoming used to concussions. That is not good. Instead of it taking 100 pounds per square inch to knock you out, it's probably taking 30 now. You know, your brain is a chemical that you got to protect. There's chemicals in there. Do the right thing, man. It's time. It's time to hang up those cleats. With all due respect. Having said that, I pray for Tua. I pray for his family. I do. But just be known that I said this on where people could see it. What my thoughts on this situation. It is time to hang up the cleats. Period. You know, nothing to feel bad about. So we're going to go ahead and switch a little bit of gears, talk a little bit of Major League Baseball. Let me do that for you guys here. And, you know, the race is heating up. Tua Tagovailoa, got nothing but love for you, man. But it's that time, man. It's time for the last dance. You know, that's it. That's it. And it's not hating. I'm not hating at all. I'm not hating one single bit. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. And I'm a very good judge of body language and character too. I could just see what the players are thinking. Now, when you watch it, one of the last thing I'm gonna say about this is that you could tell the players don't want to be that guy. They're playing with caution, meaning the opposing team is like, you know what, I don't want to tackle this guy or hit him because I don't want that playing over and over and over again because I'm the one that there's going to be on my resume and on all over social media that I was the one who delivered the hit that put him, unfortunately, I won't even say it. You could read between the lines. That they don't even want to like, oh man, I hope you don't run to me because I got to be the one to make a play and I don't want to make a play because I know who's running at me and I know what can happen. The players don't even want to do it. They don't want to tackle you. That's telling you. And take it from a guy who's actually retired early as a top producer. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, am I doing the right thing for the organization, my family, my peers? Am I coming in here doing the right thing? And if you feel as if it's jeopardizing something there, then it's time for you to think about seriously hanging it up. That's just the bottom line. If you're thinking to yourself, you know what? Am I putting my team, my teammates, and the opposition in the best position by me being on the field? If I'm second guessing that, there's probably something, a reason there why I should retire. If other players don't want to tackle me as if I'm walking around with no mask and I got COVID because they don't want to be that person that put that last hit, it's time to hang up the cleats. It's time to hang up the cleats. That's the bottom line. It's time to hang up the cleats. It's not hating. It's not hating. It's concern. It's concern. As a dad, who I am, all pro dad team captain, which I am, it's concern, man. It's concern. And I told my kids too, like, this is unacceptable for the NFL to just keep throwing them out there. Concussion protocol. If I'm not a doctor and I could see what is going on, and I'm not a doctor and I could tell this guy is not physically fit, as a guy who's covered the UFL, XFL, and covered players, that I can say, this guy's not physically fit to play this sport. What are you doing? Come on, NFL. You got other options. You're not short on money. Give the man, treat him right, give him a nice buyout, and let him go his way. That's it. That's my opinion on the Tua Tagovailoa thing. You got money. You're hurting the brand by sending him out there. Put some dirt on it. Go back out there. Come on, man. Nope. So I'm going to do this here. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a rundown on the Major League Baseball standings here and let you guys see the Yankees are pulling up ahead. They are 3 games ahead of the Orioles. This is a tight race. This is a tight race. And, that's the AL East. The Rays are 13 games out. Another tight race is the Guardians are 3 games up on the Royals. And the Mariners, the Astros are 4.5 back from the Astros. So things are heating up. Season is winding down. You could tell that Major League Baseball is right around the corner because when the temperatures start to get cooler, man, that's when you know that the season's coming to an end. That's a little bit cooler here in Florida, which is hot, but just a tick not as hot. And the Mets are 7 games behind the Phillies. The Cubs are 9 games behind the Brewers. And last but not least, the Diamondbacks are 4.5 games behind the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani, he's going to be the first guy to go 50 for 50. That's just insane. I can't believe, more than anything, I can't believe someone who hasn't done that already. Not even Shohei Ohtani. I'm just surprised that no other player with the speed that we've seen has actually done 50-50. I would think, Ronald Acuna would have been a perfect candidate for that. But no, he's never actually gone 50-50. So Shohei Ohtani, I think, is going to get it. Let's see. We have less than, let me just do the math real quick here. Yeah, you got 147 games in this down. 162 minus 147. 15 games left. So it's coming down into the wire. May the best man win. It's going to be exciting to see. Definitely props to Shohei Ohtani. Outstanding season. Props to Aaron Judge, man. Aaron Judge, like Derek Jeter said, keep pitching to him. Keep pitching to him. There you go. Keep pitching to him. And I'm going to give you guys my boxing predictions. I'm going to do that for you guys. As much as I love, Edgar Berlanga, I think, I definitely don't agree with the way he was treating Canelo during this press conference. I'm really surprised that he went so rude and so crass on this. I thought he was going to actually give Canelo, at least show him a bit more respect. He didn't. And because of that reason, Canelo, I think, is ultra motivated to get Edgar. I think Edgar would have been a little bit better suited if he would have shown respect and kept a low profile during these press conferences. Reason why is because sometimes it's just like anything. By someone kind of tiptoeing, you might actually sneak up on them. But if somebody's got some broken chainsaw and they got the chainsaw on their, strapped to their back on a leg and they got a chain and all that noise, you're gonna see them coming a mile away. And because he got so snippy with the mouth, that being Edgar Berlanga, he's not gonna last this whole fight. I would be surprised. I will give it. I don't see this fight getting past the eighth round. I really don't. I don't see this fight getting past the eighth round. I think he's going to get him by round six, but I would say 8 rounds tops. I think Canelo's going to get him 8 rounds. Edgar Berlanga is a knockout artist. That is true. But a guy like Canelo, he is very, very smart. You know, this guy has been in the ring with guys who are taller, bigger, and have more knockout power than Edgar does. That's just a fact. And I just think the skill set, I think another way where Edgar's going to really get hurt is going to be those body shots. If you think you're going to go toe to toe with Canelo, especially with those body shots, it's not going to happen. And if Edgar, the only shot he really has is to hit and move, throw the jab out there, and just throw a haymaker and hope that it lands. But I just think Canelo's too skilled. I just think that Edgar is going to try to get into an engagement with him. Canelo's going to, duck and dodge, hit him with a couple of great body shots, really take the gas out of him. And then I think at that point, it's just going to be Canelo's going to suffocate him. Basically, he's going to hit him with those body shots, tire him out. He's going to take his punching power away from him, and then Edgar is just going to try to hang on, so to speak. And there's just a matter of time where he's just catch him when he's open. I just don't see Edgar as much as I like him. I actually was in a press conference where Edgar Berlanga was in it, and that's how I first knew about Edgar Berlanga way back yonder. I've been following him on Instagram since. This is going back a good 10 fights. And, I like the man, but one thing I'm not going to do on this show or at any time is lie. I'm just not going to lie, And for Tyreek Hill, Tua, anybody I mentioned on this show, it's not hating. It's just being truthfully honest. And that's what I do. I've done the research. I've checked into this. I've done the homework. But Edgar is it's not going to make it past the eighth round. It's just not. I just don't see it, and I just don't see. I think it'll be a fun fight. I definitely do think it'll be a fight that will build some curiosity. I think it's going to sell actually pretty well. You have Canelo. One thing about that I kind of wish that we did here in our society a lot better, especially in the black and brown community, is support our own. One thing I got to say about Canelo that's just very striking about all his fights is his Mexican people, they support him, man. They show up to his fights. They watch the fight. Not only do they watch the fight, they buy not illegal, they buy legal streams. And they show up to the fight physically. I got to give the Mexican crowd a credit. They show up and support Canelo. I kind of wish that was done a bit more in the black and brown community. The black and brown community will show up for a fight, but the overwhelming majority are dissing the fight or they're trying to illegally stream the fight. That's not the case with everybody. Props to the Mexicans because by that alone, this fight's going to do well because he's going to have the Mexican crowd. I think Edgar is going to bring, his Puerto Rican crowd too. So it's going to sell well. I definitely do think a lot of people kind of look at it the way I do, but they still would watch it and entertaining. And anytime you do have a home run hitter like Edgar Berlanga, you do have a shot. You do have a legitimate shot because even though you may not be as good as the other guy, heck, you might throw a haymaker and a hit. We've seen it before. So I just think Canelo's just too skilled, too strong, and his defense is actually very good too. He learned a lot from fighting Floyd, and I just think Edgar's gonna have a hard time on Saturday night, is what I think. But I think it's great to see Rolly back in there. He's gonna be in the undercard for those who don't know. Rolly's gonna be in the undercard, and Danny Garcia, he'll be also fighting too. And let me just pull up something real quick about Danny Garcia. And yes, he's going to be fighting is Islande Lara. Yep, Islande Lara. His name is a little tricky to pronounce, but Saturday, I got Danny Garcia. One thing I gotta mention why I have this platform and say is that September, for those who don't know, is National Suicide Prevention Month. I got to give Danny Garcia a ton of credit. A ton of credit. One thing about me is I can't really say anything. I'm going to give Danny Garcia a slide on saying anything that's derogatory or negative in any way, shape, or form because he did something really cool at the end of his fight. He had his last fight. He talked about why he hasn't been in the ring recently. He took a break. Is because he was going through a lot of mental stuff. I mean, he needed a mental timeout, and he was talking about the S word that he had those thoughts, and he said the pressure of being a dad, the pressure of fighting, it was just getting too much, and they took that interview that he did right there in the ring, and they paired it with another interview that he did after, and where he talked about, hey, if you need help, go out and get some help. So, since this is Suicide Prevention Month, it's okay not to be okay. Tell a family or friend that you trust, hey, I'm having these thoughts. This is not normal. I'm not feeling right. Talk to somebody. You'll be surprised how therapeutic it is just to talk to people. And not only that, it's also therapeutic because of the fact that you're getting things off your chest. Sometimes you just need to get things off your chest. And sometimes when you just don't have a way to vent or talk and you internalize, there's therapeutic just to talk to people. Reach out for help. 988. If you need professional help, 988. Here's a number. And Suicide Prevention Month. Watch that Danny Garcia clip. I shared it. You can just go to the DAZN page and just look for Danny Garcia, picture of him, and you watch that. It's powerful stuff, man. Powerful. Most professional athletes don't admit when they're having struggles in a department. He did. I give him props for that. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that, hey, things are overwhelming me and it's getting too much pressure. And as fans, man, we put too much pressure sometimes on these guys. But I got Danny Garcia coming back strong, winning, and it's gonna be great. Great. It's actually gonna be a very nice weekend of fights. You got Rolly back in the ring, Danny Garcia, and you got Canelo. So check it out. That's tomorrow night. I definitely want to go ahead and thank some people here. Let me just do that. Got to thank all the callers for today. Got to thank once again Sunshine Liquors, Scottie Pippen. Thank you, George, Awad, wife Lou. Got to thank Shelly. Got to thank a lot of people there at Sunshine Liquors. Outstanding event today. For those who just joined us, I had the pleasure of doing the covering the media here at the Alford Sports Talk Show for the one and only 6-time champion, 2010 Hall of Famer, Scottie Pippen. In fact, let me go ahead and show you guys that picture if you're just joining with us. Let me pull that right up here. That's George. And this is George shaking a hand. That's me and Scottie digits, as well as There you go. Digits. There you go. Again, for those who are just joining in, if you were connected to this event, I apologize. I was trying to get the pictures up by tonight. When I did say that I was going to be up here tonight, I actually forgot for that very moment and excitement that I had a show tonight. I tried to squeeze it in, try to get it up, but I felt like it was just too much rushing. I had a lot of content with the videos and the pictures. I want to make sure I look at it before posting it up. I got to make sure I tag everybody in it. Hence, it's going to be a slight delay. I will make sure everything gets put up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, you can visit us here at the Alford Sports Talk Show. I will put up the pictures and video. I'll make sure everybody gets tagged in it. And it's awesome. We went ahead and had a toast at the end. 20-year bottle. We toasted, and it was just a fantastic event, man. And I apologize for not getting the pictures, but it's a lot of pictures, and not only that, I don't want to rush and put that up because it's something that you just want to make sure you get right when you put it up. That's one thing that about the media is that when you put a post up, you want to make sure it is correct. You thank the people that you're supposed to thank, but more importantly, you tag them and you make sure it's done right when you do post it up. So thank you again, Scottie Pippen. That's the man right there. That is George, who is the store owner of Sunshine Liquors in Palm Harbor. I got to make sure I say the one in Palm Harbor. You'll see these pictures a lot more. Thank you, George. Appreciate you. But you're going to see a lot more of these pictures up tomorrow morning. Again, I apologize. It was just I got caught in traffic and had to come on live for you guys. So it was just a bit much. So, hey, it happened today. I'm putting out the pictures technically within 24 hours. So you got it tomorrow morning. So, yes, and want to thank also all of our wonderful sponsors here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. That is Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. Want to thank my man Chef G's. Want to thank also CTCME Mortgage and Pushpin Adventures. And I got to make sure I thank this man here. The man, the myth, the legend. This is none other than Sam School of Songs. Got to thank him. So let me put up his two. Thank you, songwriter Sam Scholar Songs and his wife Mary. Sam Scholar Songs and his wife Mary. All of these great songs are available on YouTube and Spotify. Check it out there, YouTube and Spotify. Sam Scholar Songs. And if you want to reach Sam Scholar Songs, you got that big mega contract. Sing along with Sam at gmail.com. Sing along with Sam at gmail.com. All of the music. CTCME Mortgage, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, Pushpin Adventures, the intro, anytime I have to take a break, the outro, all Sam Scholar songs. So there is a video that I have to play of Sam Scholar songs. I did promise him that. I did not forget about the video. Maybe you guys can help me out with this. On StreamYard, how do you go and surf the internet while you are on StreamYard? I have a feeling I may have to upgrade to. I have the middle of the road package. There's only one tier ahead, and it has some features that are cool, but I don't know if I really need all of those features. But I think surfing the internet is one of them. I did ask him, how do you do it? If they would have told me you need to do this, upgrade your plan or whatever, I would have went from there. But no one actually from StreamYard answered my question. They said they sent me a survey about the service, and I'm like, you sent the survey about the service, but you didn't actually answer the question that I put in there at all. So I think I have to ask a guy who has another show, but I will get that video up. I promise you, it's not that I haven't been trying. It's just I'm looking at all these options in here, and it doesn't show where you can actually go online, where you can see the screen. And I think you have to do a webinar, but we'll see. I will play that song, Sam Scholar Songs, that video, just stay tuned. And thank you so much, Sam School Songs. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. And I did want to say one more thing before I roll out of here. And that is, I did see Little Wayne, Little Weezy. I did say where he was pretty distraught at the fact that the Super Bowl's in New Orleans and he did not get selected to be one of the performers. Now, it's unknown if Kendrick Lamar, who did get chosen, if he's going to allow Lil Wayne to be one of the participants at the Super Bowl. And because Lil Wayne did not get that opportunity, he was pretty distraught about it. And he even said himself, pretty broken about it. And I can understand where he's coming from, being from New Orleans, and I know he wants to put on a great show. They have had other Super Bowls, but I know he would love to do it in his hometown. I will say this much. If you get an opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl, regardless of whether it's in California, whether it's, New York, wherever, they usually don't have it up in New York, but they have in Arizona, Florida, anywhere, and New Orleans, that's a great honor. I mean, it's great to do it in your hometown, but it's great to be a Super Bowl performer anywhere. So I never knew that Lil Wayne had that, he was actually interested in doing a Super Bowl performance. But I would also submit that, hey, Lil Wayne is a fantastic artist. Fantastic. Let me just say it like that. Yes, his music is explicit. Yes, it is not something that doesn't have profanities in it. But as an artist and a rapper, let me just go ahead and say Lil Wayne is outstanding. There's a reason why Barack Obama, when he was running for president, he brought up the fact that if you can't rap as great as Lil Wayne, you should have a backup plan. Well, Lil Wayne is outstanding. Let me just say it like that. I don't know how it would work for the Super Bowl, though, just because I know that they don't want to bleep out every other word or one word every couple sentences. You have to make sure it's a family-friendly event. So I don't know how Lil Wayne would do that. I did think he mentioned play Bling Bling. I played that in my Instagram story about tonight's episode. Play Bling Bling. Maybe play a couple of the older songs. So I'm going to help him out. When you get that opportunity, not if, when you get that opportunity, play a couple of your older songs that have a little bit less cursing in it. Bring back your group of your guys. Maybe play a couple of lyrics and go to the next song. So you can technically do it. You may have to clean things up a bit. But hey, what I'll say to Lil Wayne also is keep your head up, keep your chin up. You're a fantastic artist. Don't feel bad about it. Hey, man, the NFL, I'm still working, truth be told, I'm still working real hard to get those NFL media credentials so that we can cover the NFL games definitely for you guys. It's not easy to get NFL credentials, so I understand what he feels like being disappointed, but you gotta keep it all. You got to keep it all in perspective. Don't let it get you down. There'll be other Super Bowls. Yes, it may not be in your hometown, but you might get an opportunity to get into a Super Bowl. And talk to Kendrick Lamar, man. Ask him and see if he can let you in on a little bit. Let him talk to him. Or, if wait till next year. Put your hat in the basket. But I they could be because of the type of music, the genre. It could be because of that, because a lot of Lil Wayne stuff is explicit. So, hey, the NFL, the no fun league. That's another one. I said not for long. The NFL, no fun league. But it would be interesting to see how Lil Wayne would package that in the NFL. Speaking of that, I actually watched Lil Wayne perform on Thursday Night Football when they had a little concert after the game. If you went to the channel that they said, you get a chance to see a performance. That's really cool that they do Thursday night. Lil Wayne was one of them. I watched it, but they didn't bleep out a lot. They put a little moment of silence. You can't do that in the NFL. I mean, you can't do that, I should say, at the Super Bowl. I just don't think the league would probably want that. I don't know if that's the reason why you get chosen, but keep your head up, man. You may not get it right here in New Orleans, but you gotta feel bad about, man. You at every Super Bowl, so yeah, you may not be performing, but you there, you in. Look at the bright side. Excuse me, one moment. Yeah, look at the bright side. You had every Super Bowl. I remember seeing it was in L.A. You were there. Florida, you were there. You run on the field. So think about the things they did allow you to do. So having said that, you'll get your opportunity. But in the meantime, think about what you did get hooked up for. A lot, a lot, a lot. A whole lot. Sit courtside. Come on, man. It ain't that bad. So you guys are awesome. I want to thank and close out a Friday 13th show. And I will say this much too. I would have to say you guys have to negate the stereotype of turtles. That's right. You got to negate the stereotype that turtles are slow. Because I knew it was going to be a great day on Friday the 13th when I got a message on Instagram. I won't say who, of a person that I haven't heard for a while saying, "Whoa, this is a great start to the day." But then the second great thing that happened is today that let me know that I was going to have an awesome Friday 13th was the fact that I missed riding over a turtle on the way to Scottie Pippen's Digits event. The turtle literally I was going down a winding road. The turtle came right by the tire. Great thing is another thing, folks. Make sure you have good tires. I had changed my tires literally about 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it made a difference. I was able to stop on a dime, no screeching. I stopped, and the turtle kind of sensed like, yo, I need to get off this, get across the street. He paddled the thing like this, and he was gone, man. I was like, good for you, man. You crossed the street quick, and he did. He was motoring. He was paddling that thing like, oh, I need to get out this road, man, before I get hit. And he sure enough did. So we did not have no collision, no nothing. So I knew it was gonna be a great day. I was like, man, I saved that turtle's life. He was about to bite the dust. But nope. The Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. We're about saving the turtles and preserving the turtles here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. You guys are awesome, man. You are truly awesome. Stay connected. Stay in the loop. There is much more coming on that I am working on behind the scenes from the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Stay connected. You always can go ahead and visit us at Allen Alford on the YouTube. You can also right there, YouTube Allen Alford. Just type in Allen Alford on Instagram, Allen Alford right there on Twitter. And excuse me. Thank you for watching the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Then also, let me give you the Facebook. Let me give you the Facebook handle because that's where a lot of the pictures are going to be. As you know, with Instagram, it's only 10 pictures. I'm going to make sure that I put it so everybody can access those pictures because I did take a lot. And there you go. You're going to be able to take a lot of them right there at Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Facebook, Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Make sure so look out for the videos and pictures tomorrow. I'm working on it tonight. If I don't finish it by tonight, I know I will finish it by tomorrow morning. I actually got to wake up early tomorrow, so it will get done by tomorrow. And actually, it's better that I post it up because I think you guys would have missed a lot of it. So you guys are awesome. Thank you to all the callers. And thank you to Sam School of Songs. You guys, you guys keep me motivated, man. I tell you that much. So thank you to all the callers there. And last but not least, let me go ahead and thank none other than Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. So delicious and addicting. You made a support group. Make sure you guys don't forget to visit Chef G's right here at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. Again, that's 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. And this, you can get classic heat wave honey mustard and fusion. Plus, Chef G's has Florida sand and rub. You know, for the chicken, pork, burgers, he has seasoning for that too, and a lot more. Make sure you visit him. If you can't come down to Tampa, visit him at flbbqsauce.com. flbbqsauce.com. My man's an outstanding chef. Can't go wrong. Try it out. And none other. We're going to play, once again, another Sam Scola song, and that is the Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce song. Let's go.
Comes in four varieties. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce, a natural flavor. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce, Florida gold honey mustard on burgers and ribs. Tasty fusion on pork and sausage. A classic taste for chicken steak tips. A hot heat wave on meatballs and ham. It's a cookout treat. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Serve on fish and vegetables. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce.
Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Make sure you don't forget to visit them at flbbqsauce.com. Again, it's flbbqsauce.com. Or you can visit them right there in person. 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. Again, it's 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. Eat yourself some great food. You deserve it. Great sauce. Make sure you get it. Don't forget that delicious sauce. It is delicious. Right there, folks. Classic heat wave honey mustard infusion. Thank you so much, Chef G's. Thank you so much, guys, for being outstanding. Really appreciate you. And, you know, it's always a pleasure to make sure that we watch, you know, the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. I appreciate you guys doing that. You guys are wonderful. Thank you, Sam Scola Songs and his wife, Mary. Thank you. All the songs are available on YouTube and Spotify. Sing along with Sam at gmail.com. And thank you again for watching the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Thank you to all the callers. So we're going to end the show with another great Sam Scola song. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. Be blessed. Be well. Until we meet again, take care for now. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
It's the end of the show.